Good afternoon. It is Friday. There's no big transfer news today at Celtic, and we're maybe hoping that the Yang deal might have been announced, but he played in South Korea today, so he obviously isn't in Glasgow. But one new Celtic player that did make an appearance was Marco, and Marco was paraded to the press this afternoon, and we'll listen to his full media conference and we'll give a reaction to that because it was quite interesting. It was interesting the fact that he said that Celtic had been looking at him for a number of years and that he never spoke to Ange Postecoglou. So let's listen to see what the lad has to say.
Can you describe to us the last couple of days, the last couple of weeks while this has crept closer and finally got over the line?
Yeah, obviously a lot been happening the last few weeks. I was away with the under-23s in talks with the club, of course, and went off to London and finalised a few things and did my medical while I was over here in Europe, and then I got a couple of weeks off holidays back home in Australia with my family, which was nice, and then headed back over here yesterday and finally settling in.
So that's interesting. First of all, his medical was done weeks and weeks ago. Although people were sniffing about this deal saying it might happen, it was interesting to say that he actually had his medical quite a few weeks ago.
Do you have a chance to kind of gather your thoughts when you're dealing with all of that and going from one side of the globe to the other?
Yeah, I think for myself, everything's been amazing. Every person I've spoken to at the club's been really good to me, and as I said, everything sort of fell into place, and I'm really happy to be here now.
Looking in from the outside, the assumption is you as an Australian coming to the club, Ange Postecoglou must have had some role in bringing you here. Can you give us an idea of any involvement he had in convincing you, in identifying you as a potential Celtic player?
I never spoke to Ange, but I know I've spoken to the club for a number of years now, and they've had a plan to track for me. I think now with the new gaffer coming in, I spoke to him before I signed, and he had a great plan for me and for the club, and I just wanted to be a part of that.
So this has been a long-term potential move, something that could have been in the offing for quite a while.
I hope this kind of puts some of the questioning the media puts forward to Celtic over the last week. I hope it kind of puts it to bed, and I think it's about time the media start acknowledging how good the backroom staff is at Celtic, how good the scouting system is that we had before Ange Postecoglou got here. We will give Ange Postecoglou for opening up certain parts of the Asian market, and rightly so. But listen to Marco and the fact that this deal has been
knowing that
on the go for a while.
Kind of dream ticket almost.
For me, it's always been about just playing football and doing what I control, and that's performing on the field. So with all these other things outside of football, I never really thought about it. And as I said, I just try to perform on the field and let everyone else deal with all the outside stuff.
The league getting bigger and better, but was it always an ambition of yours to come to Europe to prove yourself here?
Yeah, for sure. I think since I moved to Melbourne City 3 years ago, it was my goal to get over to Europe, and here I am with an opportunity that's presented itself, and I just can't wait to get started.
You say Celtic have been interested in you for a number of years. Can you tell us how?
You can actually feel the pain in this guy's questioning.
How many years?
I think a couple seasons now. They just, I think, kept tabs on me, but I don't know too much.
Has this move then always been on your mind for the last couple of years?
Move to Europe has always been on my mind, and as I said, I don't know too much detail.
Yeah, because he's a professional football player, and all he's going to do is, for the past couple of years, is every day he's going to wake up and say, "Is Celtic coming from me today?" Jesus.
I just work on what I can do, and that's perform on the field.
Previous Celtic players have came from Australia, have you taken advice from them?
Yeah, I have spoke to Aaron Moy before making my decision, and obviously being involved in the national team with him a few times. He just couldn't speak highly enough of the club and the people at the club, and just really brought my attention that I really wanted to do this and join this big great club.
What did Brendan say to you in terms of how he sees your role at the club?
Yeah, obviously I spoke to him before I signed, and he just said I'm an exciting attacker, and he likes playing an attacking brand of football, and that's what I like to do as a player, is excite the fans, and I hope with this opportunity I have, I can do that.
What was that feeling like for you when you first heard of Celtic's initial interest?
Yeah, so obviously a couple of weeks ago when I knew that everything was falling into place. It was amazing for myself because such a big club have interest in me for a young boy in Australia, and as I said, I couldn't say no. It was an opportunity that presented itself.
It's a club that goes for titles and trophies, a lot of expectation. How do you think you'll handle that weight of expectation?
Yeah, I think it's obviously going to be massive to try win back-to-back trebles. I think that's what the club's goal is, and for me being in Melbourne, we were all about winning trophies as well, and for my time in Melbourne we were able to do that, so I've sort of had a little bit of experience in that, so I hope I can bring that over here.
That comment is on win back-to-back trebles. Well played, Marco, and it's good to see that. And one of the other things that I took from that, if you remember back to Christmas time when the big Greek left us, and he said his goodbye on social media, and he said his goodbye to everyone in the backroom staff. And at the time, and other players have done this also to other managers over the years, they always mention the backroom staff, and it just shows you how important and why Celtic went out so hard to make sure that they keep John Kennedy in the backroom staff, and obviously why they had the clause in Ange Postecoglou's contract to say that he couldn't come in for the backroom staff. And I just think it's fantastic that so many people, and even Martin Moy, talking about the staff at the club rather than talking about the actual manager.
And how much of a draw was Champions League football for you coming here?
Yeah, I think that's a massive bonus, of course. Playing in the Champions League is every child, I think's dream. So for me to be a part of a team to go in that tournament, I think it's amazing, and hopefully I can present myself on that stage too.
And for Celtic fans that don't know, how would you describe your playing style? What will they see from you on the pitch?
Quick, attacking side of play. Love to dribble at players and excite fans, try assist and score goals, of course, and just pretty much like to go forward, make things happen.
A new hero was born today. A new hero in Celtic colours has entered the building. Let's see if he can do his talking on the pitch. I hope so. I hope he brings everything that he says he can to the game. It was a really exciting time. It was good to see him actually talking. It was interesting to see the fact that this deal has been on the cards for a couple of seasons, that Celtic scouting system has been tracking him for a couple of years, and he's never spoken to Ange Postecoglou in his life. So I hope that puts to bed all this, that it's all Ange's deal. It just shows that Celtic have been working on it. And you know, the backroom staff at Celtic do not get enough credit. They definitely do not. The scouting system that we have in place is absolutely unbelievable. So a bit of other news today. We all love a bit of Brownie news, and it's good to see Brownie sort of getting his managerial feet wet down at Fleetwood, we'll say, and he done really well last season. And after his success in the first 12 months, he's been given an additional 2-year deal. So he obviously had a 1-year rolling type contract, but he's now signed a 2-year deal with them. So that'll be interesting to see. He obviously can't wait to get the new season underway, and it'll be good to watch him and him progress as a manager. Unlike one manager that came in across the city. Oh, and if you want a bit of a laugh today, right? I went onto Twitter just before I started recording this video, and then there's been quite a few people commenting on a game that took place today. There was players of the first team and the B team to a team against Livingston, and it ended 0-0. In the comments, if you want to laugh, go on to the Rangers feed, the Rangers Football Club feed, and the comments are absolutely hilarious. You've got to say that, their fans aren't too happy with the fact that they drew 0-0 with Livingston in a pre-season game. Oops. And anyway, the big news is obviously Marco, he is here to win another treble. That is just fun. That was absolutely brilliant. And the main objective is back-to-back trebles. And on that note, Celtic fans all around the world, oops, we did it again.
Lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party, roll up to the party.